Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. In any other normal situation, I would be in pre-pandemic times at Recycle Reads. No, not at Recycle Reads. That's my own open mic. I would be at Half Price Books at a monthly reading that Tom Woodruff would host at the first Wednesday of every month called Community Poetry. You welcomed anybody to come and read, and we would take turns reading. We'd always start with Tom reading, and it would be a lot of fun. And I feel bad that that is not running right now because of the pandemic, the coronavirus, the COVID-19 outbreak. So I only thought, because I had some books that I would like to read, that I would do a number of readings in this time in honor of community poetry, because I can't be there to share it with Tom because of the pandemic going on. But I would first start with reading from, because this is what I do with him every month. He would come up with a theme, and I'd say, I don't know if I'm going to support your theme because I'm going to be reading from brand new book releases. So this is what I was going to do. I was going to read one poem from one book and two poems from another for this first reading in honor of community poetry in Austin, Texas for you guys. The first poem I'm going to read is from the brand new cc&d magazine book that is volume 302, the October 2020 book, that is called Wildflowers. And it's a collection of writings from a bunch of people. It has a select few poems of mine in it, so I was going to share with you, for humor's sake, one of these poems for you. And it is called Vampires and Blood-Sucking Mosquitos Alike. It was actually written on October 16th for Garlic Lovers Day. 6th or 16th? I don't know. I want to say the 6th. 16th maybe. I did all these dates and I can't remember the days, but Garlic Lovers Day was then, so this was for, in honor of that, and it's called Vampires and Blood-Sucking Mosquitos Alike. Once went out for a walk in a forest preserve one summer. We walked as a couple with a breeze under the trees, but my date kept complaining that many mosquitoes were biting him like mad. They weren't bothering me. He guessed it was because I was female, but I guessed it was because of all the garlic that I recently ate. Because like vampires, these blood-sucking mosquitoes have a deadly fear of garlic, which is just another benefit for this good-for-you and amazing-tasting food. The only downside may be the smell. Though, although garlic smell may annoy, it may not shake the annoying relatives who would rather complain than give you peace. So, add it to whatever you like, and know that what you're doing is that you're doing something good for yourself too. Because how can you go wrong when one of the oldest cultivated plants was worshipped by the Egyptians as a god and was even used as currency? Garlic gave strength and courage to Greek athletes and warriors, so don't bother cooking mine. I'm feeling adventurous. From cc&d magazine, that was a poem called Wildflowers. Then I thought that I would share with you two more poems for this first reading, and those poems would be from the Down in the Dirt, the other literary magazine I run, Down in the Dirt magazine collection book from October 2020. This is volume 176, and it's called The End of the World. The End of the World. It's got a cool, it's hard to tell on video, it's got a cool statue remnant of someone holding someone else. It was from the Miami Holocaust Memorial. Back over has a larger version scaled back of it as well. But this seemed like a fitting image for the book title that is called The End of the World. And I thought I'd share with you two poems that are in this book. Should I do them in the reverse order? Maybe I should. I have to decide. Yeah, I'm going to do them in the reverse order, from the last poem in the book to the second to last poem in the book. This first one is called Noble Cause. The television advertisements accost us, pulling on our philanthropic heartstrings, asking for money to support all animals who have been abused and mistreated. Don't get me wrong, this is a noble cause, but it fills me with so much anger every time I see that commercial, because I'm sure they ask for money from meat eaters who have no problem with the mass slaughter of millions of animals daily for their food. But a cute puppy or a kitty cat, that is just crossing the line. All I think is that these advertisements underlyingly suggest that we protect animals that we have deemed cute or appropriate as pets that humans forced into submission for our now domesticated society. But they never address the factory farming of cows, chickens, pigs. We decided these animals are soulless enough so we can never have to consider their welfare. These animal advertisements, well, they may have the right idea, but they should speak for the voiceless on every day, not just today. Unlike these advertisements, I want people to improve the future for all animals, not just your select few. Okay, I'll go to the next one. It's a longer one. Yeah, getting all high and mighty for that one. Noble cause. And it talks about being on that day that was actually written on the 4th of October, and it was for World Animal Day. So it was something that was said in response for World Animal Day after an advertisement that talks about taking care of some animals, but not all, because, not all matter, right? I guess. So this last one, is a longer one. And I'll get rid of my bookmark that says that I passed my COVID-19 screening. And I will share this poem with you, and it is called 150 Years. What did we learn? This was written on the 2nd of October for the 150 year of the 1869 birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. That's what this was written for. It's called 150 Years. What did we learn? Walking through New Delhi, I photographed the statue of Mahatma Gandhi leading a salt march to the ocean to get salt for free after Britain said that they had to buy their heavily taxed salt instead. Why pay for something under British tyranny when we can just walk the 390 kilometers to the ocean and get the salt ourselves? 80 started the Dandi March that grew to over 50,000 because so many protested the British imposed salt tax. That was the initiation of the civil disobedience movement. The civil disobedience movement that led to Britain leaving India. I left New Delhi, paid my way in Vishakhapatnam with money emblazoned with that picture of Mahatma Gandhi's walk. And it made me think of the historic protests and ancient acts of civil disobedience that changed the world. And then I think of the marches that occur with amazing regularity in the city I now reside. And I forget what all of the protests are even for anymore. There seem to be just so many that, from what I can tell, nothing comes from this kind of civil disobedience any longer. It seems that everyone just wants to jump on the protest bandwagon, and one protest after another leads to people walking together. And they're leading to people walking together, feeling good about themselves and thinking that they've made a difference. And then posting Instagram pics of them making a difference on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and even every other online medium they can prove it, when nothing has actually changed. I know that leading by example alone is hardly the solution, but the 21st century walking in unison may no longer accomplish anything other than the stroking each other's egos. This may be the dilemma of modern times, when too many people are seeing a problem and then they don't know what to do other than to walk. What is the walk accomplishing other than improving your health and making them feel morally superior? Because I'm positive Mahatma Gandhi, opting to weave his own cloths instead of buying clothes to support a system he didn't believe in, didn't do it so that he could feel all high and mighty. People now take a break from their day to participate in a march, and then they go back to their everyday lives. Mahatma Gandhi changed his life. The march was only a part of the story, and as a result, he changed the world too. Mahatma Gandhi didn't jump on a bandwagon to join others and to protest for change. He started that journey himself, which he still does in those who start those journeys too, to this day. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am going to pull up another book for you and another reading, but I said in honor of the fact that I would always be here on the first Wednesday of every month for community poetry, this would be the time I'd normally read. I can't host it because it wasn't my open mic, but I thought in honor of that I would just read some for you. I hope you enjoy it, and I will come up with more live readings in this 2-hour span too. I want everyone to stay safe in these times. Stay poetically inclined, because that's what community poetry with Tom was all about. And if you are feeling down or alone for any reason, know that you are loved wherever you are. And I will come back soon, and thank you guys for listening. Thank you, every single one of you. Thank you very much.